Right now at 10, the latest on a controversial proposal to bring a dog breeding facility to Spring Green. And a proposed housing development in Middleton, one step closer now to final approval. Plus, Republicans in the state legislature showing their support for F-35 fighter jets to be stationed at Truax Field.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
Thanks for joining us tonight. A Spring Green couple's appeal that would allow them to run a controversial dog breeding facility is being denied by the village. It is the latest in a series of battles to get the operation that will sell beagles for medical testing up and running. Madeline O'Neill just back from a village meeting with what comes next. Maddie?
Eric, Dr. Jill and Clinton Kane currently have a permit for a kennel on a Big Hollow Road that raises beagles approved by Sauk County in the summer. But tonight we're talking about a second, smaller facility of theirs a few miles away on their residence where puppies would be born. The village's plan commission denied them a permit for that already, and an appeal to that decision is also being denied tonight.
It's been a battle.
Those against a dog breeding facility here on Pearl Road call tonight's battle a win.
It's not just about research dogs, it's about our entire community. And
that includes Spring Green resident Nicole Peterson, who worries the operation would raise noise levels and lower property values, not to mention the ethical concerns.
There's so much better research these days that it can be done different ways, and we don't need to be using companion dog animals to do this kind of research.
All the people I spoke with feel it's the necessary evil, unfortunately, that there is good that can come from this.
Michael Mertens is the only one of 5 zoning appeals board members who voted on the Kane side, saying he believes their use meets the definition of kennel allowed in the village's ordinance.
I think that would be detrimental.
Board Chair Todd Miller says the definition of kennel isn't clear, and even so,
it still stands. Is it reasonable to have this kennel in an attached garage at a residence in that zoning district? And I feel very strongly that it's unreasonable.
Board members in favor of denying the Kane's appeal cited neighbors' concerns of nuisance and noise. Though one woman who lives down the road from the Kanes has this to say.
I have heard nothing. There's no problem. I don't hear anything. There's not a nuisance.
Regardless of this meeting's outcome, both sides know there's more to come.
The whelping facility is what feeds the larger facility on Big Hollow Road. Will they move dogs out there and breed them out there? I don't know. That's certainly a possibility.
The Kanes and their attorney have no comment for us tonight other than that their next step will be a circuit court appeal. Now, village residents will be able to vote on a referendum that would ban research puppy mills like this next year.
Maddie O'Neill reporting. Maddie, thank you. Can we keep this sunny streak going? Some beautiful fall days. Let's go to meteorologist Dana Fulton and our first alert forecast. Dana?
We'll hold on to the sunshine for at least one more day, but then those shower chances are going to creep right back on in. Today, though, beautiful outside. High temperatures were in the upper 60s, a little bit above average, but we started the day off right where we should be close to 40 for our overnight lows. Doppler track, of course, quiet tonight. That mostly clear sky is going to help us fall quite a bit for our overnight lows. In the mid-50s currently in Madison, but mid-40s already for Camp Douglas. Black River Falls still around 60 degrees in La Crosse with a bit of a breeze coming from the southeast right now. Our breeze is going to stay pretty calm overnight in the single digits. Temps will fall to the middle to upper 40s, so a little warmer than last night, but the sunshine will return tomorrow. We'll take a look at those afternoon highs for Wednesday and the rain chances ahead for the end of the week in just a few minutes.
Dana, thank you. Today, a judge decided Lori and Alexis Berry will go to trial for the 2018 death of a 13-year-old girl. The Mineral Point mother and daughter both facing first-degree reckless homicide charges. Selah Caden's parents in North Carolina sent her to stay with the Berrys when she started having behavioral issues last April. But Selah was then found dead on May 31st. The Berrys told detectives her behavior had gotten worse, saying she was faking falls, throwing herself on the ground. That morning, they say she fell and hit her head hard. And minutes later, they say she faked the fall where she stayed on the floor and didn't respond. They thought she was faking it until Lori's husband came home and then called an ambulance.
With as far as the bruising on the legs and the elbows with her, whether it be fake fainting or throwing herself down, as they had described in their interviews, the only ones that they could not really explain or they stated they didn't even know about were the injuries along the chest area.
Doctors at the hospital told detectives they believe Selah had been dead for hours. An autopsy found there was severe trauma to Selah's body, saying the death was due to smothering and blunt force pattern beating. Republicans who control the Wisconsin Assembly intend to change their rules to allow a Democratic lawmaker to phone into committee meetings when he can't attend in person. Representative Jimmy Anderson of Fitchburg requested accommodations in January. He is threatened to sue, alleging Republicans are violating the Americans with Disabilities Act. Republicans worked on rule changes in private, did not consult with Anderson or any Democrats. Today, Republicans provided the Associated Press with their proposed rule changes ahead of making them public. The full assembly will vote on them on Thursday. The White House says it will not cooperate with the House impeachment inquiry. In an 8-page letter to the House Democratic leaders, it wrote, "Never before in our history has the House of Representatives taken the American people down the dangerous path you seem determined to pursue." The move comes after the administration blocked testimony from U.S. Ambassador to the European Union, Gordon Sondland. A new Washington Post poll shows 58% of Americans surveyed believe the Democrats were right to begin an impeachment inquiry. Meanwhile, Turkish forces are moving into position along the Syrian border after President Trump withdrew American forces from the area. Turkey is expected to mount an offensive against the Kurdish population there. For years, the Kurds have fought ISIS alongside U.S. troops. Kurdish leaders are calling the president's decision to pull out, quote, tragic. While this morning the president tweeted, quote, "In no way have we abandoned the Kurds," said the U.S. will continue to provide financial and military aid. U.S. Supreme Court justices heard arguments today in a landmark case regarding workplace protections for the LGBTQ community. Plaintiffs hope the federal law that prohibits discrimination on the basis of race, color, religion, sex, or national origin will also extend to sexual orientation. A decision in this case is not expected until next spring. Milwaukee police say 2 adults are in custody tonight for criminal charges related to animal cruelty. That came after an extensive investigation today with the Wisconsin Department of Justice. This morning, police say they issued a search warrant at a North Side home about 9 o'clock after receiving information that human remains were buried there. Police say they found no human remains, but did recover a dog's remains. Officials say due to debris inside that property, it was deemed unfit for anyone to live. The house was then boarded up. Bucs guard Sterling Brown has denied the city of Milwaukee to settle a lawsuit over his arrest in January of 2018. A legal document shared with Milwaukee news outlets says Brown will deny the city's $400,000 settlement offer. Brown filed a lawsuit accusing police of using excessive force and targeting him because he's black when they confronted him for illegally parking in a handicap spot outside of Milwaukee's Walgreens store. And overseas, the NBA trying to mend fences with China after a controversial tweet from Houston Rockets general manager Daryl Morey set off a firestorm in the communist nation. Commissioner Adam Silver, shown here, playing defense now after Morey's now deleted tweet voiced support for protesters in Hong Kong. The Rockets have been a favorite team in China since superstar Yao Ming joined the franchise back in 2002. But the Chinese Basketball Association is now suspending its relationship with the Rockets. Adam Silver says he will meet with officials in China this week. More local news now. A new housing development on University Avenue is passing one of its final steps tonight. Amy Reed joins us now to explain why the developer hopes this project will bring some social change to the area as well. Amy?
The Middleton Plan Commission is expected to send this new plan for this new apartment complex through to council tonight. From there, the developer is excited to get the project moving because with his ideas, this is more than buildings and units. This is a path to social justice.
Drive by this near-empty lot on University and you see it for what it is. When Anthony Gray looks, he sees what it can be.
It was a perfect location for the type of development we're doing.
Right across from the Willie Street Co-op, he envisions a housing complex 39 units deep, 20 of them classified as affordable housing. 5 will be designed for people with physical disabilities.
I think we have a very, very good project before us tonight, and I see no reason why there are any bumps in the road before it's finally approved.
But beyond a good project, Gray is striving for social justice.
Most of the ills that befall black and brown communities in this state and around the country stem directly from familial financial instability.
His process will try to shake that, offering 5 people of color a chance to sit in on the development and learn how to do it themselves. When this ground is broken, he'll work with the subcontractors to get a workforce development pipeline for people of color there, too.
These aren't just living wage, these are well-paying jobs. that people who live around here and people of color really ought to have access to.
As a compromise to neighbors to keep the new complex at only 3 stories, he'll have to build out, meaning this cottage, his business's home base, will have to be torn down. That change cost him his architect, his contractor, and a substantial amount of money. But he says it's still worth it.
Anyone who ever told you that anything worth doing in terms of social justice was going to be easy wasn't honest with you.
Gray hopes to break ground right after council approval, which could be as early as the 15th. The city of Middleton said this is the first of a few projects they hope to take on along University Avenue, and they said to expect more on that in the coming weeks.
We'll see where it goes from here. Amy Reed reporting. Amy, thank you. School District of Janesville is condemning the actions of students caught on video hitting and yelling at a classmate on school property. The school district says the students caught on camera have already faced their punishment, but parents think it's an example of bullying gone too far. Members from the anti-bullying group Be a Rooney say this is another reason why the district needs to adopt a stronger stance against bullying.
Provide resources for the victim and for the bully. Teach them ways to handle their anger and aggression. Give the person that was the victim of this some emotional resources to process through what's happened to them and to move on from it in a positive manner.
The School District of Janesville says it has resources for students who feel like they've been a victim of bullying and say the district and school have done everything to address the situation according to school policy. Amazon looking at adding another major distribution center in Wisconsin. This could bring more jobs to Rock County. The Beloit City Council approving the development of a warehouse distribution facility last night. The proposal involves a 1 million square foot distribution center located in the Gateway Business Park area. The Beloit Daily News says construction is expected to be complete by next September. Still to come on News 3 Now at 10, a resolution supporting bringing the new F-35 fighter jets to Madison now heads to the state assembly. I'll tell you what Truax Field neighbors are saying. That's just ahead. A resolution supporting the F-35 fighter jets now heads to the state assembly after passing the Senate this afternoon. Madison's Truax Field, one of 5 locations being considered to house the F-35s. The Republican lawmakers sponsoring the bipartisan resolution say the jets could help keep Truax Field open and also create jobs. But Northside neighbors have long warned about the jets affecting their quality of life. An environmental impact statement says the noise would make hundreds of homes uninhabitable.
And as elected officials, it is our responsibility to show our support for those men and women, and that we want the F-35 and we want them to fly that aircraft.
The cost-benefit analysis here is just very, to me, seems very clear. This is going to do far more harm than good. And of course, the people whose homes are going to be affected are mostly low-income people of color.
The Assembly will vote on the resolution on Thursday. It was a busy day for the Senate. They also approved a bill that would keep Wisconsin's hemp industry under state control and another bill that allows children to legally operate lemonade stands. Those are now headed to the Assembly. Senators also passed a bill changing the regulations for e-bikes. That is now headed to Governor Evers for his signature. Several new businesses are now open at the Garver Feed Mill. Several more are coming soon. Ian's Pizza will now be accompanied by Perennial Yoga, Surya Cafe, Ledger Coffee Roasters, Cosa Spa, Underground Catering, and more. Information on their open house where you can get a first-hand look at all of those new spots. You can find it online, channel3000.com. Brewers making a change in left field. No, not with Ryan Braun, not just yet. But the team says the long-running Friday's Front Row Sports Grill will close in early December to make way for a new restaurant. The team announced the change with this video showing Bob Uecker struggling to come up with a name for the new restaurant. Officials say that restaurant will be remodeled with a new look. It'll feature classic Wisconsin fare, and it's supposed to open in mid-January. Could have had the roof open today for some baseball at Miller Park. Beautiful sunshine and above average temperatures, but one more day of this?
About one more day, and then things are going to be a little rainy, and then it's going to get much cooler outside, of course, heading into the weekend. But today it was so nice outside. Doppler track is going to stay quiet overnight. We aren't expecting anything to move in new just yet, as we still have high pressure and control of the forecast, keeping things quiet and calm. And now that that high pressure has shifted a little further east, we're on the backside of it, getting that southern breeze, and that's what helped our temperatures climb close to 70 today. We're expecting a very similar setup for tomorrow, with those temperatures climbing quite a bit. Our next system is bringing some snowfall to the Pacific Northwest and into Montana. This trailing cold front is going to drive towards us, bringing showers and maybe some snow well to the north. We're not talking about snowflakes in southern Wisconsin for this weekend. Overnight, we stay mostly clear. For tomorrow, plan on a mostly sunny sky. A few clouds building in Wednesday night, with that next chance for rain developing throughout the afternoon and evening on Thursday. Most of the day will stay dry, though we aren't ruling out the chance for some showers to pop up. The heavier rainfall will come through at night and into Friday. Notice as that cold front passes where the wind is converging there. In front of that, early in the morning on Friday, we'll hit our afternoon highs, and then behind that, our temperatures will just fall during the day. We'll be in the 50s in the afternoon. Those shower chances will continue through the afternoon and evening. And again, they are looking at a few snow chances again, well to the north and west. Not expecting any of that to cross south. We're just looking at showers and a little bit of a cool down heading into Saturday and Sunday. Overnight, mostly clear. That'll help our temperatures fall through the 40s. But with that southern breeze, we'll be landing in the middle to upper 40s for our overnight lows. And then for tomorrow afternoon, plan on highs yet again in the middle to upper 60s. So it'll be another above average day, really pleasant outside though with that sunshine. Thursday will steadily become mostly cloudy, a little bit of a dreary day. Temperature wise will be okay in the upper 60s again for our afternoon highs, but once those showers really build on in later in the evening, we're looking at a really saturated setup for Thursday night and into Friday. Most of the day of Thursday will stay dry, not really have the chance for a few isolated showers. So overnight low of about 46 tonight with that mostly clear sky. It'll be not as cool early in the morning. Should be a pretty decent start to the day. And in the afternoon, almost an identical setup to today. Yet again, close to 70, mostly sunny and pretty mild outside with that breeze coming from the south, anywhere from 8 to 15 miles per hour. So just a little breezy. Upper 60s on Thursday, mostly cloudy skies with shower chances developing later on. It'll be breezy in front of that cold front Friday. We're in the low 60s early in the morning, and then we fall quite a bit into the upper 30s by Saturday and Sunday morning. We stay in the 30s. Shower chances possible early on Saturday, but afternoon highs will be in the middle 40s. Of course, homecoming's on Saturday. It's going to be a little bit of a cool and rainy game. Unfortunately, it does look like we might have a few isolated showers holding on through Saturday. Mid-40s on Sunday, but thankfully we're looking at a dry spell starting for the second half of the weekend and carrying us into next week. It'll be good to have a full work week of some dry weather and temperatures staying a little closer to average. We'll warm on up through Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, back closer to 60 for the end of the week. And that's a little more seasonable. We should be in the low 60s for this time of year.
But for those alums coming back, you're going to have to bundle up some ponchos and sweatshirts underneath or something.
Layers.
It's going to be chilly and messy. All right,
yes.
Dana, thanks. Coming up in sports, we'll head to southwestern Wisconsin. Some high school volleyball action on a Tuesday night. Highlights after the break.
News.
Well, we are more than halfway through the regular season in high school sports, believe it or not. So that means getting to be a tight race for those top spots for playoff berths. Volleyball postseason starting in just 2 weeks. We start with Benton. They're facing undefeated River Ridge. Second set here, River just Skylar White with the ace, and the Timberwolves are up early. But Benton making a comeback. Alexis Redfarn finds the corner for the kill, and the Zephyrs tie it up. But River Ridge, too much here. Skylar White again with the serious hang time and the kill. River Ridge staying undefeated, defeating Benton in 3. 6 Rivers action here at Highland, visiting 6th-ranked Sholsburg. First set here, Sholsburg's Reva Spillane to Kayla Klotz for the kill. Miners up early. Later on, Highland's Grace Pastina to Caitlin Mueller for the point, and Highland coming away with the big victory. They sweep the Miners. Some SWAL action now. Cuba City hosting Southwestern Breast Cancer Awareness Night, hence student section doing a good job getting decked out in pink. To the third set, Cuba City's Kayla Stitch setting up her sister Haley. She slams it down the line for the point. Cuba up early. Then Kayla Stitch with the topspin serve for the beautiful ace. Cubans sweep the Wildcats 3-0. Well, right now the Badger football team is a 10.5-point favorite against Michigan State at Camp Randall this Saturday for homecoming at 2:30. Now, while the Badgers defense is still ranked #1 in the nation, the offense hasn't been too bad either. They're averaging more than 43 points a game. But more importantly, there's a lot of confidence and trust on both sides of the ball, which is very important, according to offensive coordinator Joe Rudolph, because both the offense and defense knows that they can depend on each other.
So they got a lot of confidence on both sides. You feel like, if something didn't work out great, you're going to get the ball back and get another shot at it. And hopefully defense feels like, okay, if something happens, we can get the ball and have a chance to go down and answer, score with a score.
And the NFC North up for grabs this week. Lions come to Lambeau for an edition of Monday Night Football. Detroit coming off of a bye week, so they'll be very well rested by the time Monday rolls around. But the Packers do have some momentum from the big win at AT&T Stadium, especially on offense. No word yet, though, on the health of Devontae Adams, but Jamal Williams still has not been cleared from concussion protocol. But even without them, head coach Matt LaFleur found a game plan that worked. And he said, honestly, he's just doing his job.
I think that's what coaching is all about. You find out what your guys do well, and or maybe where a team is vulnerable that you're playing against, and you attack that. And but I just think that's part of coaching. That's part of game planning. But ultimately you got to know your players. You got to know what they do well, and try to put them in position to have success.
P.S. Fun fact, Aaron Jones currently leads the league in rushing touchdowns so far this season, with 8 of them through 5 games. We'll be right back.
Let's go to Dana. One final check of the forecast.
Tomorrow's looking nice and sunny yet again. We get to enjoy another really pretty day with temperatures in the upper 60s. Thursday, we'll also see temperatures in the upper 60s, though it will become mostly cloudy with shower chances developing later in the evening and staying into Friday and Saturday. And of course, this weekend, we're expecting quite a cool down. Even our overnight lows will be dropping into the 30s.
Kind of just a ruined weekend. Everything else around looks pretty good. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.
Now.